Okay, dear students, today we will study the lesson called motion in the here. The term motion is very important in the topic of kinematics. Okay, here let us understand the term called motion. So before understanding the term motion, we need to understand the term called relative. Because to the motion, another term called rest is also very important. Rest. So here motion means moving in nature. So we know that, for example, trains are moving, buses are moving, aeroplanes are moving, cycle is moving, like that. Moving here. Motion means, the term motion means refers to moving, and rest. Rest means the object is not moving. So to understand very clearly about motion and rest, actually there are two terms are relative terms. We need to understand the term, what do we mean by relative. To understand about this terms related here, actually the motion and rest will be observed with respect to an observer. That's very important. So from where we are talking about this observer, from where we are observing about the motion and rest, that's very important. I will give an example. For example, here there is a car is going on like this. Here a car it is there. Inside the car, for example, driver it is there. So on the roadside, I am keeping a small toy here called one tomato here. To this driver, this tomato appears to be right. It appears to be right. Okay. So for this driver, it appears to be right one. And at the same time here, a girl is there. A girl is standing on this one. Okay. For this a small girl toy here. So to this toy, for example, this tomato appears to be left. Similarly, for driver, the tomato appears to be right side, but whereas for this small girl, it appears to be left. So here the position is same, but where we are talking about right or left here, that we have to remember very well that so where these particles about, so it's very important, right or left. It depends upon about the position of the observer from where we are talking. That's very important. Okay. And similarly, for example, in this car, a driver is there and the same some passenger is here. When the car is moving here, when car is moving here, for this girl who is standing on roadside, she thinks that the car is moving. But whereas for the two persons who are inside the car, they will think that they are at rest. So for this girl, it appears to be that car is moving, but for these persons who are sitting in the same car, they think that they are at rest with respect to each other. With respect to each, that's very important here. From where we are observing, very important. For this observation of this girl, they are in motion, but for those who are in the car, they are to be at rest. Here, that's why the term motion and rest depends upon the with respect. That's very important. Okay, with respect to. Here, right or left also depends upon the observer position. It depends upon observer. And even at the same, the term called day or night. See, for example, for us, if it is day means, for America, it is at night. So the term day or night, that is time, also depends upon the where we are doing observation. Look at here. For us in India, at 2 o'clock afternoon, it may be day, but for America it may be at night. So day and night are also not permanent constant, it depends upon the observation where we are doing. And similarly, for example, up and down also, up and down. See, for example, here a globe is there, earth is there. So here we're having north and south, here east and west. For example, person who is standing on North Pole, he thinks that he is at up. The person who is standing on here down, he thinks he is at up. But he is at up with respect to his position. So the up or down depends upon also about where we are doing observation here. So basically we can say that this motion and rest or relative terms, very important, the term called relative terms. Okay, motion and rest, they are called what? Relative terms. So we can say that the object motion, the object is said to be in motion if its position is changing with respect to time. If its position is changing with respect to time, then we can say that then the object is in motion. That's very important. Okay, so similarly the term rest, here the term rest. So if the position of the object, if the position of the object is not changing with time, then we call that the object is at rest. That's important here. So you need to understand the term called motion and rest. They are relative terms. They are motion, rest. They are called what? Relative terms. It's not absolute here. The person who are inside the car, they are at rest, but the person who are observing from outside, they are in motion. Even sometimes we can see in trains also. Sometimes we think that if the other train is moving means even though our train is at rest, if the other train is moving means we think that our train is also moving. So the motion and rest depends upon the point of observation. That's very important. I hope you understand that the meaning of right or left or up and down. So it depends upon day or night. It depends upon where we are doing observation. That's very important, where we are doing the observation. So regarding this, to understand about motion, the concept of rest is very, very important. Okay, thank you.